Only one third of children can actually read to their grade level right now. One third of American children can read to their grade level. What are their prospects moving forward in an AI world? It's not good.
No, no. And you know what, Mark? We need our government. We need help with the education. I mean, it boils down to teachers are so underpaid. I have a lot of friends who are in the education world, and I'll be honest with you, I actually help donate to their classroom. I just had one of my friends a couple weeks ago had asked me, "Hey, my daughter is going to be an elementary teacher for the first time. She's excited, she's ecstatic. They're low on funds. Could you help fund their classroom?" And I'm like, "It's sad. We're in the United States of America, man, and it's very sad, Mark." So that's our future, but yet we're not giving the tools to the teachers, man. They don't have the fundamentals. They don't have the right tools to help the children, and that's our future. So it boils down that we just really need to anchor down and figure out and focus on our future and the kids. The kids is everything for me, man, because I was there. Like some schools don't have the funding for computers, for iPads, and you know that's where I step in a little bit and help where I can. So it's sad. So listen, I mean, yeah, to answer to get back to your point, like some kids can't even read. Is like, listen, the teachers are so overwhelmed and so much stuff that is going on that they don't have the time in a one-on-one basis, and especially if they're from poverty, right? They can't afford a tutor. The parents cannot afford someone to come in and start tutoring the children. And they just pass them on. I mean, there's so many that they just pass them on like a herd, you know, just like keep going, and they get promoted when they're not even having the basics or the fundamentals, Mark. It's we need to circle back, and it's a thing that we need to get the government involved, and we need to take a look at our educators and our teachers out there because they're so overlooked and so underpaid, my friend.
Yeah. Well, listen, my wife's a teacher, so I understand. I understand. I understand. We and get this. We recently moved, so she had to break down her whole classroom. She has all of her stuff. She's paid $300 a year, in a government stipend to like buy supplies and stuff. It is taking up half of our garage. Half of our garage is just stuff that she's accumulated over the years, and we're moving this. We had to get a separate giant U-Haul trailer. I loaded that thing up box by box to get all the stuff here. It's just absurd because she doesn't have enough supplies in the classroom to actually handle what she has to do. And which, by the way, in every class, standard there's going to be a standard deviation of students, right? And it only takes one student, maybe two, to stop the entire class from being productive and getting the language that they need, or the literacy that they need. What role do you think AI is going to play in education of our students over the next 5 years?
I hope we can formulate it where it'll definitely help the teachers and build more segues into helping them build and layers where they can educate these children instead of just passing them on. So listen, I can totally relate. I have friends who are teachers, and funding is critical. And like you said, spending time and that quality time with the classroom. One of them, it could just take the classroom to a different angle where you need to retract, right? But I hope, Mark, that there's someone that, and I believe that AI could help in the long run for education, reading, writing. I mean, just the fundamentals, just the basics. At the end of the day, I'm a firm believer. I think, elementary is very crucial. We're learning the basics in elementary is what helped me, to be honest with you. Thereafter, I was just like, okay, I'm bored. And then I just started thinking on another path and another level as an entrepreneur. But to answer your question, AI will be, I believe, very instrumental in helping our teachers for the future, which we need. And teachers need the help. I mean, they're so underpaid and so overlooked, my brother, that I have several friends who are teachers, like I mentioned, and it's sad that we need to support them and get more involved.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So one last question here for you, Moses. We've talked about a lot of different issues, from payment processing to education to policy to AI. You've been in the business world a long time. You've got your ears to the grind zone. You're seeing a lot of different things moving. If there's one thing I think we could certainly both agree on, there's going to be a lot of new problems that arise over the coming years. Which problem do you think is most open for solutions? Meaning, if you were starting a new business now and you were branching and trying to find interesting problems, interesting solutions, leveraging technology, where what would you go into? What would be the most exciting project for you to get into?
I mean, I could tell you that I like challenges and I look at what's the future. And when I got into payment processing, it was something new. I realized that it was built, the first machine was built in the 1980s. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be around. And I got into it in 1994. So right now, Mark, for me as an entrepreneur and well, some of the things that are in the future, I would say two things. Obviously, technology, which is AI, for sure. That's a challenge in number one in itself. And I would love to, if I encourage any entrepreneur out there listening, get into something that's going to be here for around and take us to the next level. And that's going to be one. The next thing is healthcare. Anything to do with getting healthier, eating better, like anything with our foods these days is just amazing what the ingredients that are allowed here in the United States versus other countries. So if you were to ask me like you did right now, Mark, is like, hey, what do you foresee in the challenges and what would you like as an entrepreneur to get into? I would definitely go into the healthcare aspect of it because we need to change that, number one. And that is a challenge right now. And the next thing is the technology, AI. I mean, that's something that's going to go and take us far. And we're so not even at the tip right now. We're just scratching the surface. We're not even in there yet, but it's going in that direction.
Love that. Love that. And maybe even combining the two. There's a guy who invented an AI app where you just take a picture of what you're about to eat and it gives you all the nutritional facts. He's making 20 million in annual recurring revenue right now, which is just insane.